Hi, Rob. Thanks for coming in today. Just wanted to start off by saying, everything that's said here is confidential.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that you say to me about harming yourself or harming others, I'm a mandated reporter, so I would have to
Okay.
obviously report that. But tell me a little bit why you're here.
Well, my wife kind of thinks I drink daily. Um, Usually 6, 7 beers a night. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. And on the weekends, I do cocaine. Once in a while. And my wife is threatening to leave me and take the kids unless I, cut down or get help or do something. So. Um, I guess that's why I don't really see it. I go to work every day. I pay the bills. At the end of the day, I just want to have relax and have fun. And I can maybe see the coke on the weekends being a little bit of a problem. And uh, I can see maybe having to cut that out. But with the drinking, I don't really think I have a problem. But I'm here just because, I, I got no choice. I don't want her to leave me or take the kids or anything.
Sure, okay. And you said that your wife is threatening to leave you. What are some of the reasons you think that she finds it to be a problem? Because I know you said you don't really see the drinking to be a problem, but
Mm-hmm.
what are some of the effects that you might see in her point of view?
Um, I don't think money's part of it, but maybe, I spend a lot of money, daily, and when I go out to the bar, I'm dropping, especially if I'm buying rounds, it could be $100, whatever. That might be part of it. Um, I think more, she says that I'm distant or I get silly or pass out sometimes. And I'm just not my old self, according to her,
Okay.
Um, and I think she thinks I'm not being as good of a father as I could be. I think that's kind of what her concerns are, anyway.
Okay, and let's go into a little bit about that. Are you still attending? Are your kids in any sports? Are you going
Yeah,
to?
yeah,
So are you still attending all of those with her, maybe?
most of the time.
Okay.
I'll miss occasionally, but most of the time I still show up.
Okay, and have you ever been drunk around your kids, or have they seen you drinking, or any of that type of stuff that could be a reason that she's worried?
Yeah, I drink around them. They see it. You
Okay.
know. I've never been. Well, now that I think of it, I have been pretty drunk in front of them a few times, like practically falling down drunk, but that's really rare.
Okay. And have they mentioned anything that they're worried about you, or do they bring it up?
They ask me about it a little bit, but I don't think they're really. I mean, they're in junior high, so they're aware. They're old enough to understand, but
Sure.
they've never really. Well, my one son's asked me a little bit, why I drink and stuff, and kind of like, yeah, why do people drink? And
Sure.
I say, well, makes them feel better, and most people anyway. So, but yeah,
Sure.
no, that's what I try to. But yeah, no, back to your question, like, no, I mean a little bit, but my daughter hasn't really asked about it, but she's a little younger, so.
Okay, and you mentioned that your son asks why people drink or why you drink, and I know when you were stating that you just tell your wife it's just because you relax. What are some other reasons you go out and drink at night or on the weekends? Why do you use cocaine? Like, what are some of the
The
feelings you are?
the cocaine, I think's more like, when I was younger. I'm still friends with, a lot of the guys I was in high school with.
Okay.
And I think partly that, we used to do that, late in high school, and it's kind of just, I don't know, maybe a way to bond or something,
Sure.
relive the old days and, blow off steam and stuff like that. And yeah, my friends, we all drank pretty heavily, and most of them still do, even my coworkers do, so yeah, I mean, I go out to work. It's after, go out to the bar after work, and you know, it's a social thing, and yeah, I mean I think that's the main reason. Social atmosphere and you know, stress relief after a hard day, and
Sure.
I think that's why I do it. You know.
Okay, and you're experiencing no consequences with going to work. If you have a hangover the next morning, do you still get up and go? Are you late? That kind of stuff? Nothing?
Yeah, I've been late a few times.
Okay.
And I've been hungover at work plenty. I haven't missed a day really, but that I can remember. But yeah, no, there's definitely been times where I've gone to work and I didn't feel up to it, you know.
Okay,
And I've been late for sure.
Sure, sure. So your experience, well, your wife is seeing more of a problem with the drinking, but you don't see a problem with the drinking. You see more of a problem with the cocaine. So tell me a little bit about that.
Um, I think since the coke's illegal and you know, God forbid, something I could get arrested for it or, you know, OD or something like that, I think that's one of her concerns.
Okay.
And like I said, I can kind of see that, you know. I think that she's more worried about, or worried about both, is that I drink more than I drink daily, you know. But yeah, I think the coke is the main reason for that. Is yeah, I mean, I don't do it that much, but still, it's more dangerous, and you know, you could get busted or anything like that.
Definitely. And has that ever run through your mind when you're doing the coke to maybe stop? Is that one of the reasons that you see? Okay.
Yeah, occasionally, yeah.
Okay. Now, your wife is threatening to leave you if you don't get the help. Has this been an ongoing thing, or was it just all of a sudden that she, has had it, or has she mentioned it a couple times that?
The threatening thing is kind of a new thing, but she's hinted at it over the last year to year and a half. Not outright said, you know, I'm going to leave you, but, you know, kind of like, you've got to stop this.
Sure.
Why do you keep doing this? You know, if you cared about us, you would stop. That type of things. But yeah, the kind of hammer being thrown down is kind of a more modern or recent thing.
Okay, and how long has this drinking after work or using coke on the weekends? How long has that been going on?
Let me think. Gosh, 15 years, something like that. Not the coke, but the drinking. I mean, like I said, I don't drink heavily every day, but I do usually drink every day. And over the last, you know, maybe 10 years ago, there was a time where I barely did. But since then, yeah, I mean, it's been a pretty regular thing.
Okay. Do you feel like you can't go a day without having a couple beers or? Okay.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Okay. So at the end of the day, it kind of helps you relax a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Have you thought of like anything else you can do after work? Maybe like going home and playing with the kids or going for a walk with the kids, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, and part of me knows it. And, you know, like I said, I go to games and I spend time with them and stuff like that. I do, you know, kind of feel maybe I could spend more time with them, be more involved with, like, schoolwork and stuff like that.
Sure.
Because, you know, their mom usually takes care of all or helps them with that stuff because I'm out and about most of the time.
Sure.
But yeah, on the weekends and stuff, I'll spend time with them, take them to stuff, movies, and they've taken them to a couple football games and all that stuff. So it's not like I never do anything with them.
Sure. Have you thought of any other types of coping skills you can do to relax?
Not really. I used to, I used to jog years ago, and I would go to the gym years ago. But yeah, that seems like an eternity ago. You know, I dropped that long ago, and it did make me feel better.
Sure.
But I think the drinking's just kind of it's overtaken all that completely.
Okay, so you find that to be the best. Okay, and have you thought about, I know you're here for your wife, but have you thought about any, like, I don't know if you're open to any 12-step meetings or...
part of me doesn't, because I don't, like I said, I don't totally think I'm an alcoholic.
Sure.
I'm not falling down drunk every night. I'm not a bum in the street, and I go to work every day mostly and pay the bills and all that. So when I think of AA, I think of, you're some bum in the street, or, you've lost your job and all that stuff. So I mean, I'm really hesitant to check that out at this point.
Okay, definitely.
I mean, maybe sometime I'd go to a meeting just to see what it's like, but part of me, I don't, like I said, I don't think I'm that bad.
And have you talked to your wife about that? Or do you just kind of do what she asks and come and not really tell her that your point of view of it?
Like about AA and stuff?
No, like about the drinking, that you don't think you're...
No, I've told her that I don't think it's, like when she's upset, I say, look, I'm taking care of the house.
Sure.
The family's got a roof over their head. We live in a pretty decent house. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not wasted every night and all that, So yeah, she knows my feelings about it pretty much.
Okay, and she does know about the coke on the weekends too?
She found out about it, yeah.
Okay.
That I did hide from her for a while.
You did. Okay, and how did she find out about that?
I had some on me when I came home about a month ago. I mean, just, I don't even know I had it, but I think she was doing the laundry and it fell out of the pocket. I'd forgotten it was even in there. But yeah, I mean, at that point, I wasn't going to lie to her about it after she getting busted with it on me,
Definitely. Do you think that was kind of the breaking point that you decided to come in today?
I think that was her breaking point.
Okay.
And so as a result, that's kind of why I'm here. Like I said, I understand the coke thing. Like I don't think I'd have a problem with stopping that. I could still see my friends and not, need to do that or whatever.
Okay, so you just mentioned a good point. That is it more of social? I know you stated that earlier. So you don't think you would have a problem to stop that? No,
not the coke.
Okay.
I think that's I can usually take that or leave it.
Okay, and like you said, it's usually social, so you don't obviously do it when you come home from work.
No,
you're not, it's usually when you go out. So I think that's a good, strong sign that you can, leave it. And definitely. And it's great that you understand that her side of things, and that you obviously don't want to lose her or the kids. So you're really trying to get help.
That would be devastating.
Yeah. So it's great that you, you really are trying to change for that. And a little bit about kind of bringing it back more to the alcohol. Would you ever think of trying, maybe instead of going out every day after work, maybe cutting down to start? Maybe you go out, let's just say on Fridays after work with your work friends, or...
I've thought about that.
Okay.
It's just hard when, after work and the guys are like, come on, and, it's hard to say no to that. But I have kind of thought about that I could maybe not go out 4 nights a week or whatever.
Definitely.
Instead of, maybe 2 or something like that.
Definitely. I think it might be helpful if you plan stuff with your family so I have, not going to let the kids down. So if I have something planned at home, it might be easier to say, you know what, guys, I have something to do with my family.
Right. Yeah, no, I don't think that's crazy.
Yeah, just some options. Well, I think you're very open to changing, and I'm glad to hear that. I'm very open to, obviously, I know you're not a fan of the 12-step yet, but some other types of coping skills, like I said, maybe planning things with the family, telling your wife, well, let's try and do something so I don't go out, or, and I think it's great that you're willing to just, give up the coke on the weekends. So I think we're really making some big progress in the right steps in the right direction.
Thanks.
And thank you so much for meeting with me today.
Thank you.